Alright, so let's take a look at these ones on the other side. This is a different method. We can still work it in the calculator. I'm going to show you how to do this by hand, and if you feel brave, you just go right ahead and work with them like that. And if you don't, I'll show you how to do it in the calculator. There still is one more step in the calculator on these as well. Alright, so what we're going to do, if we notice we have our x squared minus 3 squared is by itself, I need to get rid of this squared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by taking the square root of both sides. Alright, so then I have x minus 3 equals, remember this is plus and minus, the square root of 6. Then I'm going to add 3 to both sides. That's a 6, sorry. Can't add those together because they're totally different things. So x is equal to 3 plus and minus the square root of 6. So to finish this out, we need to do in regular calculator mode 3 plus the square root of 6, and that's one of our answers, 5.45, and then 3 minus the square root of 6, and that will be our other answer, which is 0.55. Okay, so if we do this in the calculator, let's see how this is going to work. So what we do, we need to actually set this equal to 0. So what we need to do is we need to move this 6 over to the other side. So we end up with x minus 3 squared. This was a plus 6, so we're going to subtract 6, and that equals 0. So now we can type this into our calculator. So just be careful and get all the parentheses in the right place. X minus 3 squared minus 6, graph it, and we can see that it's somewhere between 0 and 1, and somewhere between 5 and 6. But we can't tell exactly where, and it's not going to show up in our table because it's not even. So we're going to do calculate a 0, and we need a left bound, so I'm going to use 0, and I need something here to the right, but not to the right of that, so I'm going to use 2, and it's going to tell me this 0, 0.55, and now I got to find the other one. Second, calculate 0. Need something to the left, so I'm going to use 3. Something to the right, I always like to use 10. And we have 5.45. Okay, so I'm going to work this next one both ways. So if we're going to start off this way, do it by hand. We do square root of both sides. So this leaves us with x minus 6 equals plus and minus the square root of 8. Add 6 to both sides. We get x equals 6 plus and minus the square root of 8. If on a multiple choice test, they might just go ahead and leave it like that. If they did that and you worked it the other way, you'd need to go ahead and just work that out to see what it is. So we'll show you how to work that out. Regular calculator mode, that's 6 plus the square root of 8, and 6 minus the square root of 8. So there's our answers, 8.8 and 3.2, just however we decide to round them. It's okay. If we want to work this out by hand, though, with the calculator, though, we do have to do this one other step of moving this side over here, so we have 0. So it's x minus 6 squared minus 8 equals 0. So we put that in the y equals. In our graph, and we can see it somewhere between, well, this is even hard to see, somewhere between 3 and 4, and somewhere almost to 9. Again, it's not going to show up in the table. We're going to calculate a 0, something to the left, something to the right, and 3.17. And same thing on the other one. Calculate 0, something over here, maybe 5, something all the way to the right, maybe 10, and it gives us 8.82, which is what we found here. Alright, so if you'd like, just do the rest of them just with the calculator. That's fine. I want you to practice that method. If you're feeling brave, go ahead and try the other method. These actually are going to have one more step, but just go ahead and do it on the calculator, and that's fine.